So, Aburo Boy Boshishe, Aloris, Owl, Ian Ifa, Ilya Dimbe, Ilya Du, Egbe, Enrique, Egbe, Ola Egbe, Amileke, and Egbe Sumomi. I hope everyone is doing well. So we didn't have open house this month, earlier this month because we was traveling. Somebody was. We was in Nigeria actually. So we was all traveling. So we didn't really have class during that time. So we are now we are now having that open house. So I would like I would like to open the floor. I would like I would like to open the floor for Ojibono.
Okay.
So no, I want to.
Okay. So can you explain to us about the mysterious Ogboni Society? Can anyone join the Ogboni Society? What are the benefits of joining the Ogboni Society? If you can speak about it, I know it's a secret organization that you're.
Oh, you too funny.
But please tell us.
You too.
Please tell us what you are able to tell us.
Oh, too funny.
Photo feed.
I learned my lesson. Just that quick. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. So Ogboni is Iami. And so I can definitely talk about that, right? So there's certain things like a lot of people will talk about the Iami and how they Iami this and how they Iami that, and that these energies don't necessarily play about them, how they use the energy to do this or that. So with everything, we have to understand that um, there is there's always a a repercussion or a consequence to the action. So we should kind of like monitor that first, right? So we have to understand that this universal maternal energy that people utilize comes with a consequence. What was the consequence of our mother, right? We can see it. Anything that happened in the spirit must happen in the physical. Anything that happens in the physical has taken place in the spirit already. So it's of course there's all children learn boundaries. So as adult children of these energies, we have to first learn self-control, right? Some of those things that we learn from our mothers as children, how to be potty trained, right? That's an exercise in self-control. It's an exercise in control, right? Eating and drinking certain things, those kind of habits that we will start with. All these things are utilizing that energy. It's creating a flow, right? A cause and effect, a action and a repercussion or consequence. So this would be like the first rule, right, with these energies, right? Ogboni or Iyami, that you do no harm. So, anybody who sees this service or sees this video, right, they have to ask themselves first, have my mother ever told me to just go out and hit someone? Right? Has my father told me to go out and hit someone? We're told to like protect ourselves and not to be taken advantage of. And when it gets to a certain point, then we do things. But the way that we handle that is through a bow. So to use this energy in an offensive way, right, to attack somebody else is the first taboo, right? Because the saying, right, or the expression that we use in Ogboni is Obuato Obuato, Obuato. Long life, right? We said Aburu, Aboya, Boshishe, Obuato. And this is the Odu Asuri Iwori Wafun, the Odu that gives you the Ashe, right, to kind of like enact that or activate that. So the Oboni who deal with Iami, the Elders of the Night, is an organization that promotes long life to all our endeavors, right? So it's long life for your children, long life for your business, long life for your relationship, long life for whatever, right? And it gives an unworldly support. So where we think that Orisha are one thing, we know that Irumale is different. We know that Orisha are things that we can see in the physical world. We know that Irumale are not. And so having these energies support you even more, support your community, and being able to actualize these energies for your community. So it's not just that I want to have a long life. I want my community. I want my family. I want the other families in my community to have a long life. I want them to have progress. I want them to have peace. And so Oboni, with support of the Iami, Ologboni, actualizing and realizing some of the covenants that was made. No, we're talking about it, right? Osameji. Osameji. Everybody better get up. Stand up. You over there, stand up and sit back down. There you go. Osameji. Osa eleye Iyamoy Beji, right? We all will respect your grandma, your great grandma, your mama, your sisters, your children, your female children. Showing respect to those enemies at various stages. The potential when they maiden, right? The potential that they have to produce, the production, being able to be of childbearing age, and then past those childbearing years, right? Different aspects of this energy. This energy we utilize along with the masculine. Can't forget Oluwo. Can't forget Ojubona. Help bring balance and clarity, wisdom, action, support. This is how we kind of like move forward. So we have I'm Odofin Ogboni. To my left is Apuena. Abie is Ilode Egbe Fumi Oyeyemi. We still keep that structure even inside this different group. And so we utilize it, we will utilize it, for the support of our community. You have to be like, so there's different denominations, if you will, groups. It's probably better. There's Aborigine, which we are Aborigine. We descend our Ogboni is all Isheshe. So we don't allow members that are not Isheshe. So that's a different group, which is ROF, Royal Ogboni Fraternity. What it is?
Reformed.
Oh, okay.
They reformed because what they did was you had a person that was a Borgian, Bishop Oguniyi is his last name, and he went and founded the Ogboni Society for Christians. And so they took Ogboni and they took stuff from the Bible and mixed it in with Ogboni. And then later on, there were Muslims that wanted to be a part of it. So then he named it Reformed Ogboni and allowed Christians and Muslims. So they tried to add their little twist to it, but they still recognized it where Ogboni comes from. Borgia.
Oh yeah, we just talking about
Yeah.
that the other day.
Yeah, because he was a Borgia.
What was it?
O2 Ife
Uh,
and Arapa.
Arapa.
Yeah, the ones that were from Undo.
Yeah.
Nika. Yeah.
So, you know, there's different organizations, right? There's different groups of Ogboni, but they all carry the same mission, right? Upliftment, empowerment in the community, and they don't do harm. So not everyone can be Ogboni, right? It requires that we keep our agreements. So those people that fear Ogboni are the ones who don't keep agreements. So, it starts with certain things, right? The Dafas and the Ebo and following of uh the taboos and things like that, the observances, right? These different things help us to regain our alignment, right, with self, right, by keeping those agreements with self, right? Understanding that the Dafa and things like that, it's only your Ori expressing, hey, give their consciousness this message. It's not my Ifa. I have my own Ifa. Mauduzo Yakupelekan. Maudu is Okanran Ka. Maudu is Obey Kanran. Maudu is Obey Wayne. Right? I have my own Odus. So we may share them, right? But I'm sure no one that I come across will have the Odu at the same time, in the same orientation. So when I do the Dafa, when Ojibwana does Dafa, when some of you do Aaron Delagoon or whatever, right? You're reading the energy, right? 1,001 Orisha, 1,001 deities, you know? So this is where we first began to get back in alignment with keeping those agreements, because those agreements get greater. So the agreements I made initially, right? The agreements we all made initially was for our destiny. That's coming from heaven to earth. So now, we're a little more advanced. We've been making new agreements and finding about others and keeping those contracts, those spiritual contracts, those physical contracts, keeping those things, right? And aligning with those things. Now we doing some other things. So now we got an oak boarding house, we've we've followed those agreements to receive the blessing. The blessing is support. EIV support. I've been saying it for some time. I've been saying it for some time about support from the EIV. And now it's there, right? So we may have to, you may have to carry that too. The point is that we have that support. There's not a lot I can say about it. Anybody and everybody can be EIV or inherit, encapsulate that energy, hold that energy. So Arumala said it in Otameji that this is the only energy that did not have a body. We should all think about that. Right? We can tell you what Ogun is. Ogun got a body, he got substance. Right? Shango have body, right? A material body, a material aspect. Oh yeah. When you go out there, you may not even see it, but you can feel the wind on your skin. You can see it being active. You can hear it. It's something that's measurable. The EIME is not. The EIME is not. So for one person to say that I'm EIME above all others, they don't understand the energy at all. The animal that reacts in a certain way is also EIME. right? The vulture takes the elbow. It's acting as Iami. The Kalamabo bird that deals with life and death and these consequences, right? Iami. But the cat as well, when it chases the mouse, it's Iami. When it cleans the home, right? It's Iami. The dogs, etc. Everything is Iami. So how do we know how to offer and take care of the Iami? It's through Ifa first. So when we look at, just on its face, when we look at Aborigine and ROF and, even within those organizations, everybody deals with the EIM in a particular way, a more specialized way. Honoring those covenants, honoring those agreements, right? It's like, don't eat chicken. Why? It's because it's EIM. All birds are EIM. It's like all four legs are EIM. So would the centipede be EIM?
No.
Mm-hmm. Saying, yeah.
If they entered into it to eat something.
I'm not disagreeing. When the ants consume the elbow, is it the elbow accepted? When they come eat the epese, see what I mean? Hope I tiptoed around that question.
You did very well. Like a politician, you did good.
Look, people play around with the EIME, but they don't understand. So, like, we perpetuate Orisha, but EIME is there in a background type of way. Yeah, all you need to offer above. I'm telling you, you need to offer EIME too. If they doing the EBO without offering the EIME, and EIME gets fed twice doing the EBO, he finally get fed once. Right? Think about it. When we do EBO, cast the E5, we offer the EBO, we do an EBO reroute, the EIME is fed. When we do Okun EBO, EIME is fed. So they get what's really Adimu first, and then they get the offering. I'm saying. Ifatusin.
While we're on the subject of the witches,
The mothers. I prefer
the mothers. Okay, I said that because of the verse I'm finna ask you about.
I'm saying, I'm gonna just say this. There's another word that they call women and some men that sound like witches.
And sometimes we could be that, Baba.
Oh no, no. See, but okay. So does a woman appreciate being called
that? Not by a man, no.
Yeah, they call each other that all.
Not by a man. Like it depends on the sentiment when we talking about between each other.
Yeah.
Between each other, it depends on the sentiment. But from a man,
like,
no, sir.
Yeah, they sit around, drink wine, and call each other that.
Absolutely. That like it depends on the sentiment. So you can't do it. You can't try it, but we can do it all day long.
I ain't gonna call them witches.
Well, that's anyway. So the verse I'm asking, the
wonder
verse
why they call you witch. Wonder why they call you witch.
I don't wonder at all. But so in Irosun Osu, Orunmila said that if it were to be his tradition, that he would have the witches and the Ajeofole leaves to live together at the same time. What does that mean?
So that that's a medicine against witchcraft. It's like even with the bark of that tree is used in the medicine to overcome negative forces. Mm-hmm. So It's so it's really showing how the energy should be used, how the effort should be used, right? So people try to make certain things manifest. So it is the good thing that we should make manifest, the blessing. That's what I'm saying. Let them talk. Let them talk. Oh my gosh, it's energy. We already made it, bro. Gossip, slander, right? You have, you have no, it's you have to have some knowledge or insight into what we have going on in order to even talk about it. So that means you was over here before, but now you're not. And it's not like you was over here and it was bad because you're still alive, right? So let them talk. Let them talk about the old Ifatusin, right? This they knew you, right? They after you leave that energy, they try to bring you back, right? With lower vibrational energy. They shoot lower vibrational energy at you. Ifapomele, Oshun Femi, Ojubona, Ifa Solo, Lord Ifapumike, Ifa Banke, right? They doing all these things, right? They doing all these things, right? Trying to take you back to a different energy when that was yesterday. That was last week. Because you peeped the move and was able to change, they peeped the move and wasn't. So let us take, let us take our money, let's take our Obi and pray for ourselves and bring blessing. Like I said, may it be Ia said it, may it be harmony for the husband, may it be harmony for the wife. We talking about Obi. Let's have a balanced outcome.
I see.
I wish I would put any cola nut on anybody, spit any gin to do something to somebody. For what? I'm gonna spit in the gin. Oh, Ire Iku for me. Ire Aj for me. Ire Omo for me. Ire Aya for me. Ire Shegun for me. I wish I would. I ain't got nothing bad to say about nobody. For what? I'm too busy speaking things. I want the universe, I want Olodumare to reach a room to manifest everything I say. I don't have time for the universe to be like, oh, you fucked up, don't you? You know you fucked up. Mm-hmm. You know you shouldn't have said that. Mm-hmm. I got time for that. I'm trying to manifest blessing for not only for myself, but for others. And so I can't show you how to do that if I'm not following those rules. So Egbe Mary, right? We have the power to destroy if we're not careful. Right? When we allow doubt and fear and uncertainty enter into our mind, we can express that. And so we all have to be careful. But it takes time to get this beautiful. Woo! It takes time to be this eloquent, to have these realizations, right? And that's where we are on our road to. Let us all speak well. You know, the antagonist is supposed to be the antagonist. That's their destiny. They can change. Everybody can change. It just depends on when and their destiny they're gonna do so. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you, Baba.
Baby.
Very true.
Wonder why they call you witch. Wonder why they call you witch. I probably shouldn't say that. That's stately.
I can speak about not even want to say witch because if a man can't say it to a woman,
well, too, it's gotten a negative connotation of America. So if you look at the etymology of the word, it really just means one that's wise. So we've taken that and made it spin off of it and made it a negative thing. Because when you were in Yoruba land, there was no, that word didn't exist. That's an English word.
Right.
And it was the people that were the healers and the herbalists and things like that in Europe, that they would call the witches, those who were wise. So we have made it negative in America.
by saying that word
Well,
specifically.
by associating it with dark forces, when
Right.
people think of witch in America, they think of somebody that practices Satanism,
Right.
that invokes demons, that
Right.
eats babies and does human sacrifice. That's what they think.
Anybody that cook is a witch.
You know?
Right. Back with the sale of the Winston Salem trials, anybody who swim,
Yeah, but even if
It's a
you look
witch.
at like Wicca, they're not doing blood magic.
right, it's earth,
Yeah.
natural.
So-
right.
Oh, that was another thing. So, but cooking, right?
Mhm.
Seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the cumin, the garlic, salt, pepper, right? Oregano. You mix an herb, even with flesh.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
feeding the Orishas in your household,
Mm-hmm.
feeding the Irumale in your household.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
you know, being able to do that. So that means everybody's a witch.
You know, not everybody.
I'm saying, no. If they cook,
If they're
We are doing
I'm just saying.
that. I'm not giving everybody that. Everybody do on me. Right.
That's all I'm
They
saying.
got
But I'm saying
They got a spoon. They got a spoonful.
Benny, but I'm saying a thimbleful. But
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is that if they're gonna use that to quantify like mixing things and all that other kind of stuff, they're gonna use that to say this is what a witch is, then everybody would be a witch.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Even the pastor of the church,
In that
yeah, on the grill.
Right.
Well,
Right.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
well, you know, in today's day, it's associated with those who serve
Right.
Satan or
Right.
evil entities. That's what it's associated with.
So it said Arumula was he owed death and sickness. Right? So he was working to pay off death and sickness. For 2 cents.
I have a second question, Baba. So when we are casting and we get answers, like when we cast in Obi for O'Shea or asking for things or whatever, and we get certain answers, like the offerings, what we offer to Ifa should be according to the answers, right? Like, for example, I'm saying like if Ifa says Suru, we should automatically know we won't put Omi Tutu on that situation because we need a cool head, right?
I don't even know how I should answer that question. Right. So Homie Tutu is associated with coolness, but there's other things as well. So you know, for me, these questions you can ask this privately.
Benny. Okay. Ashe. Then I won't ask the second part of that one. Ashe.
Ben, you know what I mean? Like, what if it's not? Depending on, it could be some other thing that you may need to do to bring coolness. But it depends. You have an OD, right? I know what your OD is. Other people may not. So you have to kind of like be careful. Remember, we're posting this to YouTube.
Oh.
This is we're on YouTube. So you don't want to give when you do well say yes, but but that's not a blanket thing, right? Because you're gonna eat Ori because your Ori may not ask for water. Remember, it's all prescription based. You can have the water because you can't forget Oshay Torah. Mention the verse or things like that because you have Oshay Torah, but that don't mean you're gonna put water on your Ori.
Okay. And so that brings like 3 other questions. So I'll just wait, Baba.
Benny, there's OD where you supposed to do Ori Vivo with different things. Devon,
What's up, Baba?
you got any questions?
No, sir.
Devon.
No, sir. No, sir. I ain't no question.
Greece. The ocean. Come on, Greece. Don't be acting. He
No
said,
questions,
oh,
Baba. Thank you.
yo. He said, come on, Greece.
Yes, Baba.
Say, ore.
Ore.
Yeah, yeah.
Yay, yay.
Oh,
Oh.
Ore, yeah, yeah, yo.
Ore, yay, yay, yo.
no, only two. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Ore, yay, yay. Oh.
I say. The ocean. Any questions, Greece?
No, thank you, Baba.
Nico Banque?
Yes, I have a question.
You said.
My, my question is to the initiated priest. Anybody can answer. Because I've always heard about the money when it goes to being an initiated, like that. Everybody's always worried about the money and money. But I want to know about is there any
Outside.
guidance or a guidance on advice you can give on, in preparation for the experience of mentally, emotionally going to the Grove or being in Nigeria? Like, I know I need money, but what else do I need to, how else do I need to prepare emotionally and mentally to?
That's it.
Just money?
Bang. Send me your money.
Oh, okay.
You need a passport.
Okay.
And have your
Like being
mind.
in Africa, I mean, I've never been in Nigeria, so I know it's different, like, so you just gotta just go. There's nothing you can do, just go.
So let me say this, right? I understand, and and I'm being crass, I'm being, a little snobbish about it. But I said your money. So what does your money represent, right? With me and with anyone, what does your money represent? Your sacrifice,
Energy exchange. Oh, yeah.
your energy, right? The energy that you like. Think about it, right? In order for you to save money to go to Nigeria, what you have to do, you have to hold back,
Pull back your energy.
Discipline yourself.
discipline yourself. You have to keep your focus on a goal. You'll find that when you start moving in that direction, Olodumare and Orisha and Orunmila, they will support you. They'll be like, oh, okay, well, dang, this blessing happened. This thing happened. Oh, I had a new way to do this, right? But it's not just going to give it to you. And you'll be like, oh, it's not just going to give it to you. Like, life ain't like that for the most of us. So when I say your money, it's like I understand everything that it went through for you to have it. For you, it means something else, right? Is you being more creative in other ways to attract. It's working your job. Is having the right character, right? Moving through your own shadow. It's like that for everybody, even Isefa. There's like it's a point behind it. So the thing is, right, and I've been kind of like talking about it all day. I'm not taking nothing off any Babalawo in Nigeria, any legitimate Babalawo. My lineage, other lineages, the ones I know, the ones I don't know. I'm not taking nothing off of them. But there's a major difference that people don't really understand. And Ojibwana be telling me, if I Pomele be telling me, right, is that the depth of understanding that we have about the Ifa or about the verses and the taboos and the instances and things like that. So we have to remember, in Nigeria, they taught from an early age, this taboo, follow it. This taboo, follow it. So when you learn that, right, at a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, this taboo, follow it, right? You learn how to follow it blindly from a very early age. Like shit, it's taboo. We ain't gonna do that. It's taboo. Oh, I can't have that. They're not asking why, because they're groomed to understand about Ikilo and Ewo. But with us, right, we can be obstinate, we can be outside, we can be off the porch, we can be doing all type of things at a very early age. We can be, some of the videos that I see people with their little kids and stuff like that, we can be a certain way coming into the world without the knowledge, right? We come in with Christianity and there's really no consequence to the thing, right? We in church, we all went to Sunday school. Who went to Sunday school? Raise your hand.
A couple times.
Yeah, everybody went at least once. Yeah, but I'm saying you went. You know what I mean? You seen the preacher, he was smelling good. He had the gold on his hand. He got the suit. Yeah, we all did that. So now we faced with something like we received the information, and this may be the hard part. Me and Ifa Solo was talking about it the other day. When you're raised in a certain way and you see the doctrine, and you know that in the Old Testament it tells us to stay away from these things, the unclean things, what's clean and what's unclean, what behaviors are clean and unclean, what things is in sin and what is not, what's ordained by God and what's not. But you don't see people following it. Right? I ain't gotta follow it either. So that means we stay at a certain level. Ifabanke. Right? Certain people in their destiny can just have certain things, coming into pouring into their life, but others have to work for it. Others have to clear things away. They have to remove, these things that are waiting for them in their shadow. They have to be able to get past those things, those generational curses, those familial things, those feminine things, those masculine things, right? We have to get out of our head and be more proactive. Instead of thinking things gonna come to us, it's a mixture of both, right? It's being like Ojibwana said with the Obi, right? It's a mixture of projection and receiving. How will we find balance and harmony? So your money, your energy, right? You decided on a goal, right? And you focused on it and you work towards it. So that's what it symbolizes. There's no need to know anything. It's actually taboo for me to discuss it with you or anybody that's initiated to discuss it with you. We have to keep a buffer or barrier,
Yeah.
there.
I get it though, but I do understand that what you're saying, that the goal, when I set the goal, it makes my character become disciplined and focused, and it makes prepare me to cross that threshold, because I actually have the discipline to do it and the focus to do it and the character. I have to do a lot of work to do just to even get to the point to get the money. So I'll be a whole different person even on the other side of that.
So okay. So I'm gonna put it like this. It is you that creates the opportunity. It don't have nothing to do with
it. Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
It's your Ori that says boom, like, because it's a lot of stuff that happen away from me. You understand? Like 75% of your initiation happens away from me. And what I mean by that is that the resources, the alignment, all that stuff happens beforehand to help you get to a certain point. That's where I'm there. Like I can guide you. Like if we even if we talk every day, how much time during the day will we talk? Let's just say we talk for 1 hour every day. There's 23 other hours in that day that you're doing other stuff. Right? So this is the way we can kind of like quantify and we can measure it. So 23 hours of the day, if I'm you off doing other stuff. 1 hour of the day, we're not even together. We're just talking on the phone, so I can't even really see what you're doing. I can just hear. Let's just say. So you're manifesting your life in those 24 hours. Even while you're talking to me, you're manifesting your future. You're manifesting your future. So who's the one in control? You and me.
Yeah, me.
You are. It's not me. It's not me. When you're ready for initiation, I'll accompany you. Everybody in their measure. Right? There were some that initiated before me. Iagan. There's some that initiated through me. Yelode or Jubona. There's some that have Isefa through me, readings and stuff like that. It's when you have the need, you will manifest it. You'll manifest it. When you needed me, you manifested me. Oh, that's probably fucking like I'm saying. So it's your energy. Yeah. And when you're ready, it's gonna happen. And it's gonna be like a dream. You'll be like, Dad, I can't believe it. Me either. I've never experienced it before. I've never known Ifabanke before. I've never known Ifa Tucson before. I've never known Iya Aga before. I've never known Ojubona before. I've never known Ifa Pomile before. I've never known Iya Ayo before. I don't know.
Past life.
In a past life, yeah, but it wasn't Ifa Tayo. It could have been your name, could have been something else. Ifa whoop your tail. Your name could have been Oku, something in the past life.
Shango Benny.
You see Shango Benny. Look, you see what I'm saying? So in the past life, it was different. Even if we knew each other, we was in the same place. It was different. It was different. So that's all I'm saying. So when it's time, it's time. And don't you worry about nothing. You know, don't worry about nothing.
Oh, be well taken
I got
care of.
one more question.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much. I got one more question. Because in Christianity, after death, they talk about heaven or hell or whatever, and other traditions talk about reincarnation. What is there any Odu Ifa's perspective on what happens with us after death, after we pass?
It's a tour of Meji. Alafia. A tour of Meji, it talk about reincarnation. They talk about reincarnation. So there's a lot of other Odu Ifa that speak about it. So this is why Ifa speaks against homosexuality. Right? Because you can't reincarnate. It says that we will sit under the banyan tree for eternity. So if you don't have children, you can't come back. Right? Children of your blood, your DNA. So it says that if we don't have children, we will not return. Aturameji says that Orunmila had done all these other things during his previous lives, and so because he had succeeded in accomplishing those tasks, that he would receive all Ire in life in this Odu. So anybody with a Turameji, we be pouring it up, pour it up, you know, drink a little bit because we're toasting the success of those past lives and where all Ire will be given, even up to Alafia.
Sure.
Ire Iku, Ire Aje, Ire Oma, Ire Aya or Oko, Ire Ishegun, those things, Irialapia are guaranteed to those who receive the Odu Tuameni. So, if I believe in reincarnation, this is why if I tell you, think about it, right? Anytime you have a women, right? Anytime a woman has we'll call it an early term pregnancy. we'll say it nicely, right? So, you may be a few weeks pregnant. Let's do something to end that pregnancy, right?
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. Right? Anytime that happens, miscarriage, abortion, any of those kind of things, right? You have those, you exclude yourself from an aspect of reincarnation. Back up, hold up. So let's say we have a woman who has 5 pregnancies in her life, but she has 3 children, right? Let me see, 3 children. One was an abortion, and the other one was a miscarriage, right? So they messing up their options. You have 5 options before you come back in different timelines and different lineages, but now you only have 3, right? So then, right, we know how they're making certain lifestyles acceptable, right? How they making certain lifestyles acceptable, then you get rid of 2. So then you only allow yourself one way to come back. If your male child not having children because you let them do whatever, or your female child not having children because you let them do whatever, you can't even come back. Ifa is clear. Ifa is very clear on different types of relationships and why. I'm saying. So let us realize that about why the need for reincarnation. Who had deja vu? Who had deja vu? Huh? Put your hand up. You had deja vu. Y'all scared? I don't know. I don't want to tell people I had deja vu. You all had deja vu. How you gonna have deja vu? You ain't experienced it yet because it's planned for your life. When you get the plan ahead of time, it have to be for it to be a plan for your life. So, reincarnation. Be mindful.
Thank you.
Be mindful. If I does believe in reincarnation, if I banke, if I die don't never have no good Bubba. If I die,
Yeah. I don't have any questions, Baba.
Yeah,
Deja vu.
I'm trying to tell you. Ivakai Sola.
Any questions, Barbara?
Asheo Ifarike.
No questions, Baba.
We ain't gonna even ask Ifa Tusen got questions. She got questions for next week. Ifa Tunde.
Nah, no questions, Baba.
Shay Ayo.
No questions. All right.
Turn your
So
camera on. Let me see you. Oh, you say you do have a question.
I do have a question. You need
Okay,
me to
I
turn
thought you
my
said you didn't have a question.
No, I do. All right. All right. So my first question is in regard to Ideen Ellering.
Ipin Ellery. L-E-E-P. Mhm.
The one where it says, Edine, if you make jest of me, I will retaliate by making a jest of you. Ifa's
Yes.
message. You
So, go
want me to
ahead.
keep going?
No, yes, please.
Okay. Ifa's message for Orisha Nala or Sorimbo. Oh,
Daddy
Sorim.
Mabo.
Say it again.
Orisha La. Oseri Mabo.
Orisha La Osorambo.
Oseri Mabo.
Osorimabo.
Being country self.
All right. When going to the world to become a leader, he was advised to offer a vote. He complied. Before long, not too far, join us in the midst of all Iran life. Right? Is Ifa saying, if you take me as a joke when it comes to your destiny, I will show you what the joke is? Like, if you make a fool of me, I'm gonna show you who the real fool is.
No.
Like, what?
I mean, yes and no. It's not saying it like that, but yes, it's kind of like saying that that's included in the message. So Orisha La, right? He the one when when a man and a woman get together, they create. So in that space, right? Because Orisha La is one who created the destiny of the mother and the destiny of the father, right? And so when he brings them together, we have children, right? So when we bring two energies together, two opposing energies together, right? Because two men can't have children, two women can't have children. So if we look at it in a practical sense, right? Two indecisive people, led by their own emotions, it's harder to have accomplishment versus two people who both focus on being leaders. It's hard for them to have progress as well. You follow me? So the balanced energy, right, will help us, right? Because one clearly has to lead and the other one clearly has to support. Right? One has to project while the other one has to receive. It's just the way it is. So that being said, is that unless we invoke these energies and do it in that way, then the progress may be slow, stagnant.
Okay.
You follow me? So it's in that, like, it's like follow the advice, or you're gonna have challenges, or follow the advice and be blessed. Balance, right, helps us to kind of like, you both have to have the leader and the supporter, right? You have to learn both, so that the supporter will become the leader, but he understand or she understand about support. So the father should be the head of the household. The wife should be the supporter of the husband, right? Really, she's the one who controls the household. So,
Ashe. Thank you, Baba.
I shall ask OG Bono a question.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I got it. OG Bono.
Yes. Yeah,
I got 2 questions for you. What does your name mean? What does Ojubona mean? And 2, with being I don't want to say a child of Obatala, but a priest of Obatala. I think that's the correct terminology. Do you often have trouble with remaining cool-headed? Right?
Okay.
I know naturally.
So the whole deal with Ojibona, okay? So when you get initiated into Ifa, right? So Ojibona is basically one who guides the way, right? So you have your Luo, who is the head, and then you have Ojibona, who's the right hand man, which is the next chief, next priest after the Luo. So the Ojibona is there to assist, to help guide the way, to be a secondary guide. You can put it that way. So does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Now, as far as being a child of Obatala, so here's the deal. Just because you are the child of a specific Orisha does not mean that you have the same characteristics, right? So with Obatala has helped me with maintaining a cool head. But my personality previous to that was not one of cool head. You know, I was quicker to anger. I had no problem and had enjoyment arguing and debating with people all the time. You know, so but I always had a humanity within myself, right? So I had the analytical aspect. I had the aspect where I was had the artistic aspect. When I was a child, I drew a lot and things of that nature. I was always fascinated with the occult and studied all the different religions of the world, all the different forms of secret societies and things of that nature. So it was always the seeking knowledge, seeking wisdom. That's that Obatala aspect of me. But there was a fire in me. It's still a fire there that I have to keep contained. So it is through Obatala and through Ifa that I'm able to contain that and have a cooler head. But I'm not exactly like Obatala, right? I'm not perfect. From any standpoint, you know. I have my flaws, I have my good points, I have my areas of improvement. But there's still a flame there. I'm not just happy-go-lucky, passive, you know. Obatala's my father, I'm his son, but I'm not him. But I have a lot of his aspects. You understand what I'm saying? I have a lot of his aspects, and he helps me to manage that fire that's still there.
What was the question?
So it was two questions. The first question was, what was the meaning of Ojibona? Like, what is Ojibona? And the second question was, being a child.
Number two, that's gonna knock your head off.
As being a child of Obatala, like, is it just easy to keep a cool head? And I just let her know. I was like, you know, it's no, not at all, but it's helped.
Ayo, how you gonna ask him that question?
Bobby, you told me to ask him some questions.
No, I think
I'll play after.
yeah, I think it's good to ask these questions because, you know, I don't want to have a trail like I'm a saint. So if I fall short, then you're looking at me crazy. No, we all striving to be better. You know, we strive to have the attributes of Obatala, but there's still a flame there. So Obatala helps me to deal with that, to keep a cool head, to
Snail cannot warm itself by the fire.
right. To think more before I speak, to be compassionate when I need to be compassionate and things of that nature. But no, being a child of Obatala doesn't mean you're automatically just like him. No. You know, and I've heard other people that were children of Obatala as well. I've even heard of people delaying it because they were like, they scared. Because they like, oh man, I gotta be this stately, cool-headed, you know, and you know, so people delay it because it's a lot to live up to. You know what I mean? It's a lot to live up to. So I look at Obatala as my father. I'm not quite there, but I'm striving to be closer, you know, more in tune with that energy. So it's a work in progress. The more you perpetuate, the more you build a relationship with the energy, you know, and you'll hear it speak to you. You know, oh, nah, just calm down. Don't even go there with that. Think before you speak. You know, so
My Obatala petty. What? Okay, Wayne, my Obatala petty. Any trouble with a dog. You know what I mean? So that's how I know the question wasn't my question, but
yeah, but go ahead. I didn't heard it before.
Yeah, my Obatala, because it's all about creating something or or realizing that creation in someone else. You know what I mean? So like I can see my people and I see what they're good for, right? And so sometimes I may wait, you know what I mean? To kind of like um there's always a supporting, like I kind of like push them and maneuver them into certain positions. It's because I see it already. This is how my Batala leads me. But it does it in a certain way where I'm uninhibited. Like I'm not worried about them being them. Right. And so like this is why I love my people. I love my own work, like genuinely because I can see them. And it's about a lot that helped me to see them. So when it's time to be like going over there, going over there, it's okay if you ain't perfect. Going over there. It's okay if you don't know. I see it in you. That's my batala. And that's what I mean, like it's petty. It's like, oh man, this is why you've been doing this. This is why you've been saying this the whole time. This is why you've been, yeah, because I already know. And so like people think that it has to be, you have to be like this. You have to be
Perfect. Yeah, because you have some practitioners that believe if you are, Omo Batala, you can't drink any alcohol. You're not supposed to eat no kind of meat. You're not supposed to put seasoning in your food. They think of all that, but we're multifaceted here.
Yeah.
We're initiated Ifa. We both initiate the Oshun, Obatala, Egungun, Egbe, Agboni. So it's not that one of these energies dominates who we are.
Damn it.
It's that these energies are aspects of who we are.
And you got to be clean like a batala to a degree in order to welcome those energies in.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, so even though we're not initiated to Oguna Shango or any of these other energies, by being like water, so to speak, you can embody those energies when it needs to. And I think that's the thing about a batala, because you can be anybody, right, at any given time. So it's just being balanced and harmony or pure in that sense, like especially emotionally, which will kind of like help you to manifest those energies.
Mm-hmm. And receive information, exactly. Being at a state of peace to be able to command and manifest.
Yeah. Do you agree?
Yes, I had a question, Baba. I wanted to know like what are certain ways that we can be balanced within our energies?
You know, I'm gonna give you the short answer. Do you know how to ride a bike?
Yes.
How many times did you fall off the bike? I love that analogy though. How many times did you fall off the bike?
I fell off a lot of times.
But do you remember them all?
hmm I remember one specific time when I fell off the bike and I actually broke my knuckles actually. Not, but it was bleeding, not like break it, but
Yeah, but you broke
yeah.
skin.
Yeah.
So some of those experiences you took with you, son, which you didn't, but it still was a trial and error.
Yeah.
Right? And so like people want like, how do you do this? I don't know. I, you know, the way that you have patience and the way you work through those things with having patience, or the way you work through accomplishing certain tasks and stuff like that. Unfortunately, like I'm just gonna tell you, it's individualized. I can give you some ideas on how I did it, and I think that's what you're looking for. But I just need you to understand that whatever you do is going to be the first time anyone's done it under these circumstances.
Something I heard, and I totally agree with, right? 607 something he said. First thing, organizing your life. Make sure your house is clean and organized.
Literally and figuratively.
Yes. Make sure your house is organized, because your house is a reflection of what's going on internally. So once you start to organize things, once you start to plan what you eat, make sure you're drinking water. When you start doing these little things that bring structure, organization, and self-care, then you'll start to have more balance. But you got to have balance out here, and to also have balance internally, because the outside is a reflection of what you got on the inside. So organization, discipline, structure in your life, these are the things that'll start to help you to have balance.
Ashe, thank you.
Kashawn Bay. If I said anything harmful, hurtful, or untrue, it's surely for myself. If I said anything that is true, correct, and brings long life, it's surely from Ifa Oludumare. Ifa bless you.
Ashe.
Okay.
Egg Bay bless you.
Ashe.
Yeah, Moja bless you.
Ashe.
Okay.
All Orisha